Henry Kissinger once said that the thing he noticed about becoming better known was when you bore people, they think it's their fault. The thing I've noticed is people keep giving you awards for things you didn't really do or you maybe don't deserve. And I fear that this may be one of those, but I'm enormously grateful, given the source of the award, to accept it. And I would just observe that an organization founded, I believe I'm right, 1986, 40 years before the first baby boomer, 25 years rather, before the first baby boomer even turned 65, was a far-sighted organization and a necessary one, and bless those who thought of it then. You know, it's occurred to me earlier this year that if someone had come to me and as late as December of the year 2000 said, "What'll you be doing in April of 2014?" I'd have thought a minute and said, "Oh, well, I'll be getting ready to retire from Eli Lilly and Company." I was utterly absorbed, and had been for more than a decade, in the work of pharmaceutical research and the search for cures and the delivery of those cures to patients. I couldn't think of a more satisfying or noble endeavor, and still can't. As it happens, life brings its surprises. My mind's changed 3 times since then, but interestingly to me, in each case, I've been brought into contact with the essential quest for advances in medical and biomedical research. At Lilly, depending on the nature of my job at the time, I gave speeches, gave congressional testimony, and most important, maybe I talked to hundreds of our customers about the realities, the cost, the incredible cost, the timelines involved in discovering new cures and making them available to patients. In my last years there, I was part of the kind of partnerships that I know are well represented in this room. Lilly at that time, and I'm sure it's more today, had well over 100 associations with academic institutions and small biotech companies, and we were searching the world. I was out signing deals everywhere for access to new technologies or enabling technologies. To my surprise, I wound up serving a second sentence in the federal government, and there, however, notably to me, while arguing on most days of my life for restraint in federal spending, I was able to argue, and we were successful, of course, for the doubling of the NIH budget, and was there during the period in which that was accomplished. To my further surprise, I wound up a candidate for public office, the one and only office I have or ever will seek, and it was, you know, I think I probably have a unique distinction. I'm probably the only person who ever ran for statewide office under the label pharmaceutical executive and lived to tell about it. It's not exactly the banner under which most people would choose to travel, and especially not back in 2004. But on the other hand, I was able to somehow, I hope, explain to large numbers of our citizens the same trade-offs and the same necessary conditions under which biomedical research can flourish. And then, to my further surprise, when I came to Purdue University, known worldwide as one of the finest engineering schools anywhere, one of the finest agricultural and biotech institutions anywhere, to my delight, I found one of the most vigorous drug discovery programs anywhere. And last year, when I charged our faculty with identifying 2 areas, I said we probably can't afford more than 2, and the entire panoply of research going on at that high-tech university, one of the 2 that came back was drug discovery, and we are making tens of millions of dollars of investment in trying to take a program which already has, I'm happy to tell you, 37 agents in clinical trials, more than any other university we can find anywhere. We hope to move on to a new plateau of discovery and I hope partnership. So I'm back to advocating basic research, along with many of our colleagues in higher ed. This is important not only in the health and biosciences, of course, but across the spectrum of research that powers a modern economy and an information age. And I can't leave a crowd this influential without making an obvious point, but one that someone has got to make persuasively in the years ahead. You know, the British have a saying, now that the money has run out, we shall have to begin to think. The money has run out, and we know where it's running, to very noble and important and always essential programs and what that we call the safety net. But if it is not reshaped, if the autopilot spending is not brought into some sort of a flatter trajectory, there won't be any money, federal money, for discretionary programs to speak of. And the most important discretionary programs that I can think of are basic research at the NIH and the NSF and at NASA and other places where the frontiers of knowledge are pressed out. So we're going to have to find a way to work together. If there's ever a cause that has to be bipartisan, it's this one. And I argue for it now on behalf, not really just of our university or science, but on behalf of the young people who I will rejoin on the Purdue campus tomorrow. And I don't have to tell anybody in this room that if once the greatest social problem we faced was we weren't doing well enough by our elderly, today it's that we are handicapping and penalizing the young people of this country. There's an intergenerational transfer going on that is not just and is not sustainable in a successful society. So on behalf of research, on behalf of generations at both ends of the age spectrum, I thank this organization for the work that you do. I'm so gratified to get an award that bears Senator Hatch's name. When I came here just as a kid to organize Senator Dick Lugar's affairs when he was brand new, one of his classmates was Orrin Hatch, and I got to know him and know his character, and we've all, of course, benefited from his spectacular public service. So on behalf of my co-workers at Lilly, in days gone by in Purdue in the present day, I thank you very much for all you do, and pledge to you our best efforts to help you as one small voice in advocating for this most important of causes. Thanks a lot.